hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. Like, I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
And Navy people don't know how to not beat on the table when they make a point. Right? And I'm thinking about, because I heard you on the Rise and Sun podcast, and he had to tell you, like, hey, man.
Oh, shoot. With Dean now?
With Dean, yeah. Dean had to tell you, like, hey, look. Yeah, Dean was like.
His first, like, podcast person. Jesus.
Yep. And he was like, hey, man. He was like, you know, I love you and everything, guy, but you not beat on the table.
No, rather figure out this, and we talk with our hands, and we do this.
And even from Chicago, that make it worse.
Right.
Yeah, we had April on the episode a couple episodes ago. Somebody hit me up. He was like, "What's that shit happening at the 2 hour and 15 mark?" I'm like, I don't know. Then I was like, let me go listen to it. And I remember she was banging on that table because she was making a point. Also, yo, we going into, like I said, I got vents and critiques, and people gonna be mad at me. Y'all gonna be mad at me. We going into 2026 with warm water and lemon. Please, you know. I talked to Damon. I'm editing the episode right now. I'm in the middle of editing the episode. And Damon cleared his throat about 350 times. 350 times for the listeners, just so y'all know. You know, if you catch a 5-minute stretch of Damon clearing his throat, just know I got tired. I got tired of taking out throat clears, man. I called David about it too, man. And then he told me some real serious, like, health. I was like, hey, man, I wasn't, hey, man, I'm super, you know, I'm at 11 when I talk to Damon. I'm like, hey, Damon, I just want to let you know, man, that I've been hearing the grunts, you know. And then he hit me with some real stuff. Like, I was like, oh, all right, Damon, cool. I'll just keep editing it out. All right, my last little thing before we really kind of start talking to Frank about, you know, Frank. Well, before then, we probably got to talk about Dr. King a little bit. But Aaron asked me, right? So this movie came out yesterday, The Rip, right? Okay. So for the listeners, we like a week off. The Rip starring Stephen, what's his name? Stephen, whatever.
Stephen Young.
Stephen Yin.
Young.
Okay. All right, man. Tiana Taylor, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, right? It came out yesterday. Just yesterday it came out. And I've been wanting to see this movie. So yesterday I went to a all-day, yesterday's Friday for the listeners, right? I went to an all-day training course for leaders at my command. All-day thing. It was over at 16:30. So I leave the training course at 16:30 and go back to work to change into my civilian clothes because one of my friends came down and I was thinking maybe I could go see him on the way home because he wanted to see me. One of the people at my job, he knows who he is, so I'm not going to like not say this. He talks for a long period of time. And he always catch me on my way out. You know what I mean? So I had this thing perfectly timed. It's 4:30. It's 16:38. My CO had left already for the day. Me and my XO were both at the course. We both was coming in to change and leave. My man, right? And it's my man. His office is, I can't go or leave without passing his office. It's the office like right next to mine. So I can't avoid him. So I snuck past the first time, right? Changed. I go sneak out, right? And one of the civilians was still there. He calls me. CMC. I already knew. I look from the my peripheral. My man's coming out the office because he got something to say. Yo. He has to. You know, it's time to leave. He has to have something to say, right? So he's like, yo, I only need you for 2 minutes. I'm like, oh, man. So I wound up getting caught up in, you know, like when they bringing down the flag and like, you know, all types of stuff, man. So now I get to the daycare. I go pick up Amari and I'm kid home. It's like, now mind y'all, I ain't sleep longer than 5 hours all week. Just stuff with having a 2-year-old, being married and, you know, trying to edit a podcast and stuff like that. So then I finally get home and I get to the door of my house, man. And I get a text from Aaron. Did you watch The Rip? And I was triggered. I'm like, yo, what time you think? I didn't say this, responded to Aaron in my head. I'm like, what time you think I got to watch The Rip, man? Like my life is rough. You know what I mean? But so that was that. But in the whole ride home, the whole car ride home before I got this text from Aaron was me going back and forth with my friend and my wife trying to figure out plans for the night, because it was one of those nights where it's like we were both beat and we really ain't want to do nothing, but my homie in town and he wanted to do something. He like, well, we could just come to your house. We got a 2-year-old, so when you got a 2-year-old, sometimes your house is not ready for your friends. So that's when Aaron texted me and I was like, damn, man, how bad can it get? For real. Hey, for the people that's watching, Tisha's here.
I'm back. For a minute. I was gone for a minute. Now I'm back for a minute.
Yeah, Tisha's here. She here.
I'm here.
How you doing?
Wait,
No, it's not live, but it's gonna be on YouTube. Yeah, it ain't live.
Okay.
I'm well. School has been schooling. Life has been lifing. Work has been working. Kids have been kidding. So it's been really good. I'm in a new place in life and in physically, my new place here. It's just been, with my I got my suicide doors. You know what I'm saying? But everything is good, and I missed y'all like tremendously. So it feels really good to be back. And I saw the post that y'all put on, like looking for, other females. Listen, women out there, ladies, please, this is the place to be. These guys are amazing. It's a good feeling. Like, it's just like that feel good. You have brothers, like real brothers. I put a post up yesterday. I reposted something that said I was cutting off people. Yeah. And I got a call from Damo, and then I got a call from Damon, or Damon texted me, like, who you cutting off? Like, that feeling of, protection, like somebody got your back. And even though I've been gone for so long, still hitting me up. Damo hit me up all the time just to check in, see how everything is going. And so these are like very special, important people surrounded by love. So I saw a lot of people like tagging people, and I just encourage people to just get on here and just do it, because it's a great spot. That was really my sole purpose, like one of my sole purpose of like, let me hop on real quick. Let me clear my calendar. I got a ton of homework I got to do. I got to record myself, all that stuff. But I was like, let me hop on and talk to the ladies real quick, tell them like, this is the place to be. So if you're thinking about it, you better do it.
Yeah, that was overwhelming. It was so many.
It was.
Like, I'm like, damn, is this every lady, chief in the Navy? And we don't only want women. I mean, not
right.
Don't only want women. We don't only want like E7 and senior, or we like any rank. Like, I see us slowly kind of becoming like that, like chiefing up shit. No, it's for every rank. Like, we want to do this for every rank. We want people from every rank listening too. Look, no offense to all the senior leadership that listen, and some of them let their junior sellers listen to the pod too. But we also would like junior sellers as guests too. I'm not doing another post like that though, because that is overwhelming.
That was crazy.
We're gonna be going through Tyra gonna be going through that for years, like combing out, different. And if you did
I'm waiting on Tyra to be here, man.
Yeah, Tyra be here too. Hey y'all, so we can't so for the listeners, it's gonna be late, but we can't let MLK Day go by without at least shouting that out. It's gonna be late because we like an episode ahead. So by the time you hear this, MLK Day is going to have been a week ago. But I make sure I'm telling people, even at work, like, hey, enjoy your MLK weekend and make sure you go do something of service to somebody, right? I ain't playing. That's why we got the day off. People keep saying, I keep hearing people like, yeah, it's a day off on Monday. It's not just the day off on Monday.
Right.
It's MLK Day on Monday. Let's not forget that, So
Yeah.
I don't have the diatribe that I had the last few MLK days, and plus we a week out. But I'm sure Aaron got some notes on MLK that he could just freestyle real quick.
I got a recommendation.
What is it?
All right. So a lot of times people trot out the I have a dream speech when it comes to Martin Luther King Jr. And that's it. And he's a more layered and complex person. So recommendation one is read his letter from a Birmingham jail. That was him at his realest, his rawest. And sadly, things he talked about in that letter are still applicable, even more so today. Follow his daughter, Bernice King, on IG. She carries on her father's work and legacy. That's a person that I wish was platformed more. And then a book recommendation is The Sword and the Shield, where it looks at Malcolm and Martin and it shows their similarities, and even more so how we kind of have their personalities crisscrossed. Because Martin Luther King was more the revolutionary compared to Malcolm X being more peaceful than the narrative is. So read Left Birmingham Jail. Follow his daughter Bernice on IG. Book recommendation, The Sword and the Shield, and look at our people, look at him as a person, not this mythological figure. He's a hero, he's an icon, but he's a man and a father. So.
See, I knew Aaron could just freestyle that shit. And that was definitely freestyle. We did not think about that. We did not pre-plan that. But another thing happened real quick was I want to congratulate Commander Desmond Walker of the USS Stout and Commander Joseph Campbell of the USS Jimmy Carter for winning fiscal year 2025 Vice Admiral James Bond Stockdale Leadership Award for both coasts, right? So East Coast, West Coast. I was fortunate enough to go to the event. I was fortunate enough to be invited by Commander Walker, and I was able to go. My schedule allowed me to go. And it was a great event. Stockdale's son, who is a doctor, I'm assuming a professor. He got like all the kind of things going like a professor.
All the letters.
He got the beard. He got the professor look to a T. He spoke, and that was his first time. That was the first time having a family member outside of Stockdale or his wife speak. So he spoke, and he spoke really well. And then Commander Walker, then Admiral Cottle spoke, and then Commander Walker spoke, and the other commander who won spoke as well. So it was refreshments in the back. This is one of those events where nobody really got to the refreshments. I had to grab a juice. You know what I mean? I wasn't playing. Then I ran into Siri, who was on our podcast before too. King Siri, I ran into him. And we had some really good conversations. I ran into a couple other people I saw and met too. So it was a really good event. One thing about the event, though, just the day of the event was the first class exam for chief, right? So it was a chief exam. And I wore khakis that day because I know I had to go to the Pentagon, but I put the Eisenhower over the khaki. And I had my Eisenhower over my khakis just all morning, right? Because we running around. We got the first classes, Chick-fil-A, donuts.
That's all.
Yeah, we did it up for them, right? Like, so we So I go to Pentagon now, right? I go to Pentagon, you got to get lost at least once. I wound up running into Commander Walker outside the Pentagon. And he like, hey. So I wound up just walking in there with him and his wife. I'm like, I know I'm not going to get lost. I'm with the recipient, of the award. So I go through security. You got to take your jacket off and all that. I get out from the, where the metal detector thing, and the dude like, hey, where's your rank? CMC? Command Master Chief? I look down, man. I don't have my collar devices on, yo. I don't got my collar devices on, man.
Dang.
I'm like so ashamed about. Yeah. I'm like, I'm gonna just keep the Ike on, man. I'm gonna have to rock the Ike all day.
I think it's time for you to take some lead, brother.
Right?
Because the Walker wife was like, you gonna be hot? So I wound up running into this. They got a store there where you could buy uniform stuff. I'm sure it's a store. Dude's like, yeah, it's a store. So luckily the store is right down the hall from the Hall of Heroes. I put my collar devices on, and I was good to go. You know what I mean? Still kept the jacket on, but I was good to go. So that was me, man. That was me. Frank,
Yes.
how are you, man?
I'm good, man. Just, living life, the retired life. Kind of like Tisha back in school. I just started my MBA program, so I had my first class. So out the gate, it was like 1,100 word essay due in the first week. Dang, I don't know nothing about the class.
Listen, that's my struggle. I'm going through the MBA program right now. I'm fighting for my life.
And so just doing that, balancing a bunch of stuff right now that's pretty, I guess popping in my life right now. So yeah, just managing my day by day, but I'm enjoying being retired.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now are you another one that did 20?
I did 22. Yeah.
Okay. So you did 22. What
is that supposed to mean?
I was about to say something crazy, Aaron. I was going to say, so you stretched it out. You had to hit me with a say again. But so you did 22, you pushed past 20. Where did you end your career?
I ended it here in San Diego on USS Boxer.
So you were in Japan right before that?
Yeah, I was in Misawa, Japan for a little bit under 2 years with Dean Howell and you guys know EJ, CMC, prior Marine dude. Yeah, I worked with EJ because Dean left. I held the seat for about 3 or 4 months until EJ got there, took over at CMC. And so as he got there, I was like,
I'm out.
Like I was part of that, looking for senior chiefs to go back out to sea. I knew I wanted to come back to San Diego, so it was a win-win for me. I came back. I did my look because I told my detailer, I was like, I'm only going to my EAOS. Like, you ain't getting no 4 years out of me. Like, I'll go to that, and that is it. That's the only way to get me. And he agreed. He was like, all right. So I did about 2 years on Boxer, and then I retired.
Why was it important to go back to San Diego for you?
Because like my house is here. I kind of wanted to retire stateside and not in Japan. San Diego is a hub for everything. So all of my VA appointments, everything was here, in the neighborhood. Instead of being in Misawa, Japan, I'm gonna have to fly down to, Yokosuka, take care of all my stuff. So it was easier.
So it ain't had nothing to do with the movies, like you being into film and
movie directing. So that partially back in Cali. But in that 2-year window, I was just kind of literally focusing on like my retirement, right? Like getting all my stuff in a row to set me up so that I can lean fully into the film stuff and not be, stressed out about stuff. So, but yeah, it definitely brought, so that was part of the reason too, being back in Cali.
Yeah. You never wanted to like cross rate to MC?
I was too late in the game. So I tried to cross rate to IS when I was a third class. I don't know why IS, but that didn't work out. So I was like, I got this the hand you gave me, so I'm gonna make the best out of it, and I did.
I know why IS. You probably ain't never see them doing no work. You probably never see what ISs do.
No, they be working, man. They be
never
working.
see it. You can't see it. You never see it. Right. Like you can't even see it. So you just if you somebody that's working like a CS,
right?
You are OS, so you see it different.
Thing.
But like,
see y'all are doing.
Yeah, he's a CS. Frank was a CS.
Not import.
We're not doing this morning.
Hey,
You always
Every day I gotta fight. Don't make me
and
do
you
it.
do really be having to fight all the time.
and want me to tell you something, bro?
What's up?
I fell asleep on a spot check on the OS before. I fell asleep on a spot check. And he used to be with me in the EM shop. He was undez and then he struck. He went OS. He took me to a spot check, bro. I dozed off, bro.
Hey, that's one guy, man. They the whole group. You know what I mean?
It was like on a monitor. It's like and he even knew, like, because he used to work with us as the EM, so he knew. He was like, "Hey, Chief, look, this is all we got. This is all I got, man." Like, he knew.
You just sign this off, and you like,
yeah, he knew, man. I fell asleep on that shit, boy. Like, what are you doing? Button combinations. Like, what you doing, man? How do y'all do it, man?
So Frank, as you're in San Diego, right? Right, you retire, you smoothing it in, right? Continue, brother, please.
What we were talking to Frank about, working and cross rating and going MC and stuff like that. My question, what's up?
No, I was too late in the game to even try to cross rate to MC. I thought about it, but at that point, I'm a first class. Ain't from the cross race, as a first class to,
right.
Or second class to MC. Like, no, I'm good. I'm just sticking out here.
I tried to do it as a first class. I tried to cross rate the MC. I got cussed out on the phone by the dude. Because I had just got my degree. I had got my bachelor's in digital cinematography.
Okay.
And, I called up. I'm like, hey, look, here me go, right? I'm like, look, man, I just got a degree in digital cinematography. I feel like I could bring something to, the MC rate. You know what I mean? Like it ain't hitting like I feel like it should be. Dude cussed me smooth out. And I talked about this on a pod before. Dude cussed me smooth out. And pretty much, it's the same thing like you said. He's like, man, what you even trying to cross rate for? But my ASVAB scores wasn't good enough anyway. But he was like, what you even trying to cross rate for if you about to be a chief? Something he said. And I'm like, cool. So you were CS.
Yeah. Yeah.
How was that?
In the earlier days, when you're young, fresh, 18 years old, coming to Navy, everything is so big and everything is so fast. And so when I got my first ship in Hawaii, USS Port Royal, they just decommissioned it.
Port Royal.
I got there, everything was so big and so fast. And I was like, I'm just this little piece in this whole operation. And just remember feeling a little where do I fit in at? Where do I go? Then it being a CS world, it's doggy dog. It's beasting. You go, I really dropped my sea bag on my freaking rack, and CS1 was like, hey, let's go. Let me show you the galley. I'm like, what's the galley? Like, what's that? And then, and it was just go. Subconsciously, I was like, this ain't it for me. Like, I want to do something. Me at that time, I was like, I want to do something bigger. Have more of a impact on stuff, and that's why I tried to cross rate to IS. And low key, I aligned myself to do more of the administrative side, so I wasn't in the grunt with everybody else. So I was, I kind of worked my way up through that side of that world, of the CS world. It was fortunate enough that if they paid off for me. So yeah.
Yeah. And then what all different commands, different types of platforms? Because a CS could pretty much go anywhere.
Yeah, we go anywhere. Yeah. So Port Royal was out of Hawaii. After that, I went up to Camp Pendleton, worked with the Marines, ACU 5. Did that for a couple of years. Then I went to the CDs. So I went greenside, got my CD, my bug. First time on a deployment where it wasn't on the water. It was like, oh, we fly to our deployments. I'm like, we fly? They're like, yeah. So we went to Afghanistan, Japan for the first time, rode to Spain, got deployed there. And then after that, it was RTC, where I met Aaron Paul. and Japan, which I fought, clawed, scratched, and kicked not to go. And then I sunset my career and you're back in San Diego on Boxer. So yeah.
And now you come into the Navy as a kid from Chicago, right?
Yeah, from Chicago.
West side, right? West side of Chicago. And I heard a bunch of things about the West side of Chicago, right? But like I think like Bump J is from the West side of Chicago, but also Lupe is from the West side of Chicago, right?
Yeah.
So Chicago could be a very diverse place. And like, how was Chicago for you? Like, what was your identity as a kid in Chicago?
I was the fat kid all the way through high school up until I think my junior year going into senior year. So don't laugh at me. You see me now. But I failed PE class, right? I just didn't go. And so that summer I had to go to summer school for PE. And I think I went like on my growth sprout over that summer. And I came back senior year. People were like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, I'm dude from that. I'm still here. So it was an easy breezy like childhood. Like I really didn't have any major like traumatic things that happened to me. Grew up with a single parent home. My mom who worked in corporate. My dad was an actor. They had already, kind of separated and kind of was doing their own thing. I was close to my dad, close to my mom, really close to the family. So it was nothing really, it's extraordinary.
Yeah.
But,
So when did you think Navy though?
So Navy was never on the docket. So my plan was to go to Columbia College in Chicago, which is a school for like the arts or whatever. And then my mom one day called me. I got home from school and she was like, "Hey, some Navy guy called and, talking about he can pay for your college." And I'm like, "Navy? Like, I'm not going to the Navy. Like, no, that's not the plan, Mom. The plan is I'm going to Columbia. I'm going to make movies and go to Hollywood." And she was like, "Yeah, but like, talk to this dude." When I talked to him, at 17, 18 years old, when they dangle, $8,000 in front of you.
Get it, man.
I was like, dang, 8 G's? Yeah. I'm like,
gotta get that at Hardy.
Right. I was like, all right, let me go ahead and just do it. I said, but I could go to school. I'll go after, I go to Navy after I finish school. He was like, no, you go to the college while you're in the Navy. And I was like, okay, how's that going to work? And he was like, oh, you'll figure it out when you get to past.
You'll figure it out when you get there.
Yeah. So I didn't read the fine print. But I ended up signing and going. And, it was probably the best thing that happened to me.
So, yeah. All right. So you want to go to school for film, but you joined the Navy. So this tells me that you already had, you know, some passion or something. So my question I have is, what was that moment that you fell in love with film?
I don't know. I told my dad this, and I was like, at a young age, I was like, I see things a little different than everybody else. It was weird. Yeah. And I remember, probably like 13 or 14 years old, I would like just go to him and like, all right, Dad, listen to the story. All right. So like this guy and this girl, they were running, blah, blah, blah. I would tell him these stories and he would say, go write that down. Go write that down. Mm-hmm. And not knowing like what that meant, I was like, I'll write it down. He was like, yes, go write what's in your head, put it on paper. And so I go to my room, like it was a dark and stormy night. John and Sarah were, whatever.
First script. Yeah.
Right. I was writing out a story. And, but I could visually see it in my head versus, just like I saw the whole thing in my head. And my dad used to tell me, most creatives have what we call a third eye. And the third eye is you see things a different way than most people may not, you usually got to go to school to be able to articulate and your thoughts out to people so that people can understand and know and work towards your vision. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, so I knew early on as a kid.
Yeah. So I got two things. I'm gonna shut up after that for a second, right? But my first thing is this. The moment for me that it hit me that film meant a lot more than me than I thought it did was, remember when DVDs used to be out, and on DVDs they used to have the bonus features, and the bonus features used to be the making of whatever, right? And I was super big on Scorsese already, right? Just really big on all his movies. But I was also like heavy on Tarantino, right? Just the writing and like, all of the movies that Tarantino did. And this was probably amongst like some of the forgotten Tarantino movies, but it was the Grindhouse, the DVD for the Blu-ray for Grindhouse, right? Him and Robert Rodriguez. And I watched the making of Grindhouse. And the passion that like both of them got for film, like if I had to like take it to a moment, I would say listening to Robert Rodriguez and Tarantino describe like why they chose this shot or what, this is a cowboy close-up or whatever like that. It made me be like, I want to do this because at first I'm like a fan, and it's like, all right, I want to do this at this level. So that's what did it for me. Now my question for you is this. Filmmakers, to my kind of knowledge or what I think, people that make film, sometimes you have to be the everyman, right? You have to like have written it. You got to direct it. You got to produce it. You got to do everything, right? And my question for you is this. If you had to choose one thing to do that you would love to do more than all the other things, what would that thing be? Are you naturally the writer? Are you naturally the director? Which one would it be that you would want to do?
I would want to direct. Because it's so funny. I'm actually working on this piece for this veterans filmmaking program, and they're looking for veteran directors. And I got the script. I signed the NDA. I got the script, and so I made my pitch to them. So it's 6 of us that they're looking at. So I made my pitch, and I enjoyed reading somebody else's work because it gave me an opportunity to kind of see their world, and also what world am I building? Right? What world do I see this story taking place in? Right? And yeah, it was so cool to be like, I can literally build any world I want around the story. As long as it's cohesive with the story and the script, but like I can make this in 2025, 2065, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that piece. You can go really big, scale it up, or keep it minimal. So I think actually helming the vision would be my thing. If that makes sense.
It's art. That's what art is, right? It's interpreting. That's like the purpose of it, right? I said I was going to chill, but so.
Well, I was going to ask. So go ahead, Donald.
All right, because I'm trying to bridge something real quick. So, all right, so boom, you fell in love with movies, then you choose the Navy. So now, like, how is that juggle for 22 years? How is that?
It was a juggle, but I knew I had a gift in me. I knew God had blessed me with a gift. I just couldn't. It's almost like you have to pee. To feel like you have to pee. Like, I have to pee. I had to do something. I had to do something. Go to the bathroom. It was always like that for me. And so what I did was, I did it on my off time. On the weekend, I went and got a camera. I bought a big, one of those old school, big, stupid cameras. We were living in the barracks, like filming stuff in the barracks, like walking around, and like literally in Hawaii, I was like trying to do like a panning shot from like the roof down to like the courtyard, like all that dumb stuff. And I did it all like on my own time. When I got to Camp Pendleton, I was in second class, and I had wrote this script, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just freaking do it. I'm gonna just do it. And I remember that month, I never forget, I told my landlord, I was like, listen, I can't pay rent on the 1st, but I got you on the 15th. And I used that money to finance my very, very, very first short film. I found like a camera dude from like Craigslist. I found some actors from like Craigslist, like back when Craigslist was cool, not like creeper status now.
Yeah, right. Right.
I had a buddy who lives in downtown San Diego. He let me use his apartment, and I literally spent $2,000. Didn't pay rent on the 1st. And made my very, very short film. And it was over the weekend because I was off the weekend. And so that's what I did over the years. Like, when I got hired to do some music videos, I would always kind of schedule it on the weekend. Or if, when I worked for, Sony Music, they wanted to shoot on a Monday and a Tuesday. So I was like, crap. So I had to put in leave to shoot, Yeah. So
wow.
I did that.
That's the story. I always hear like different directors have their certain stories of how they was like scrunging up and moving it and like balancing their passion versus what they got to do to pay the bills.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool story, man. I wanted to go back to your father. So being your friend, like you always talk about your mother and father, they always landed to me like they're very supportive of you in anything that you did.
Yeah.
Period. Right. Like I feel I know your mother, even though I never met her, the way you talk about it, like man, I was talking to her, right? But with your father being an actor, did he have, how much of an influence was going to allow with him and seeing him in his profession? How much did that influence you? And did you like compare work? Like what was the relationship with you and your father, the actor and Frank, the director and the visionary?
Yeah. No, we would talk for hours on the phone about movies and like just a whole bunch of stuff. One of our favorite movies, and it's so crazy because I watched a YouTube clip of it today and instantly thought of him, was Masters of the Universe.
That 80s joint?
The 80s joint, right?
That's one of the like most panned, like cult classic. It's so bad it's good.
So my dad actually auditioned for the role of Skeletor. Actually met Frank Langella, who actually got it. So he was like, he told me he was part of like the 3 or 4 callbacks that they had, but Frank Langella ended up getting it. And so we would watch that, and I watched it probably hundreds of times with him talk about it. I remember Ray was like, oh, we're going to do a new one for 2026. And we would talk about like, who would play Skeletor today, or who would play He-Man, or stuff like that. But yeah, I think what sparked it going back, he was doing a commercial, I think for Sears, and I went with him to set. And I was just fascinated by all like the behind the scenes stuff that was going on to make him look good. And literally he would sit on the hood of a car with like a script in his hand, and all these like 30 or 40 people moving around, got lights on him and stuff. And literally his line was, when I need new tires, I go to Sears.
All that for one line.
All for one line, right? And I mean, I was just fascinated with like, what is happening? Like, what is all this? And I remember I asked him, I was like, who came up with the idea for you to sit on the hood of a car? And he was like, well, that's part of the commercial. Like, it's going to be a whole lot of other scenes. But yeah, it was the director. And I was like, huh. He was like, you into that? I was like, I don't know. And that's when it began, like me going to him, these ice stories in my head, and him literally planting that seed in me as a kid, like, go write that stuff down. Not knowing what it is today. And yeah, we would talk for hours about movies. He gave me books about he was, I think you can make some real good movies from Edgar Allan Poe. It was like, he's kind of your vibe, kind of dark, mysterious, you like creatures and stuff like that. You could probably, build something from that. And he gave me a book from Edgar Allan Poe. He gave me a couple of books. They're in there in my living room, but yeah.
What's your dream project?
I would want to do a film with A24 because I feel like they're kind of like my aesthetic. one of my favorite movies from them was Hereditary. You guys seen that?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I did.
You ever seen Hereditary, Aaron?
No.
Nah, man, not fam.
Bro.
But Dumbo be getting on me because I got like 5 movies. Was like, Aaron, you ain't watch it yet? Dang, bro. Like,
Yeah,
But
one better
I
after
like-
another. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite movies. And I like it when we take, and actually Guillermo del Toro does this a lot, where we take like simple stories and build whole worlds around it, right? When he did Pan's Labyrinth, it was really about
That's one of my favorites, bro.
yeah, when it was really about monsters under the bed, and he took us into this whole world with this man with the eyeballs on his hand.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Y'all saw that, right?
yes. Yeah, I saw that.
Watch
pure-
that. T- watch
Pure
it.
nightmare fuel.
Yeah. And, and Hereditary, where it's like, it's a real natural everyday thing, but we add our little, like, outworldly, perspective to it. Like in Hereditary, like she ended up being possessed by like a demon. You know what I mean? It was so good, but creepy, but good, stuff like that. So yeah.
Yo, you bring up Pan's Labyrinth, and I think about it because it's one of those movies where the horror wasn't only the monsters wasn't only the monsters. Like the monsters were the people, the people and the time that it was. If you ever get it, not if you get a chance to take the chance and go watch that movie. I've seen it like 20 times. I love that movie. I've seen it and it's a fantasy film, right? And it would seem like a kid's fantasy film, but it's not. It's a very mature.
It's nightmare fuel, man. I'm a dog. I'm over here like,
Yeah, it's great. Did you see, just talking about film, because I think we probably gonna do that a little bit throughout this anyway. Did you see the Frankenstein movie that Guillermo just did?
So I started to watch it and I dozed off on it. I didn't watch all the way through, but what I did see, it was really good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah,
I did watch that.
I'm gonna go back and hit continue watching.
Tisha, you did watch it?
I did watch that.
What did you think?
What was your feel on it?
It was good. I actually fell asleep on it the first time too, but I think I was just tired.
There's something about Netflix movies that make you doze off.
It's the fact that you can doze off and you can come back to it later.
Right, exactly.
Probably. Like it's like I'm not gonna fight my sleep. I'm just gonna just go ahead and nod off. But I did go back and start where I left off and watch the rest of it. So I did it was really good. And I'm not really into like monster music movies. But it was really good. I liked it. I liked the storyline and
you like Frankenstein? It's a good looking Frankenstein.
That's not really.
You like Frankenstein? He was all
Jacob Elordi.
I was like, how this lady? Okay. I would never.
Yeah. Hey, so were you filming like anything in the Navy for the Navy?
I did. I remember I melted into the floor. So my command with the CBs, they were looking for I remember the CO was talking to me. He was like, "Hey, I think I'm a CS second class or first class, one of them. CS1. I heard you do film stuff." And I was like, "Yes, sir." He was like, we try and do a little video for the new check-ins when they check into the battalion, do an NDOT. We can show them who we are as the professionals in MCD5, and you think about doing a little commercial type thingy for us. And I was like, yeah, what's the budget? Run the money. I'm like, yes, I don't bring in a whole team. I know some people in LA. What's up? He was like, no. Can you film it? And I was like, sir, I'm kind of past that level. I walk around and film stuff myself.
Right.
I actually work with teams now. And he was like, oh, okay, well, just talk to EXO and figure out how, figure out what you need, how much you need, and we can probably find a way to use Avatar funds or something. I was like, bet. So I got a buddy from LA, camera crew, maybe 2 of us. They paid I think they gave us $1,100.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And we filmed at the little training facility thing they have up in Port Wainini. film, like showing both sides of the CBs, right? Like them building stuff. So if we went to like a project site, and film some stuff with the project site, we had to bring extras in. I'm like, hey, we need more people over here. So I'm calling like first class, like, hey, I need some freaking sailors over here for this commercial.
Yeah.
And we filmed them doing like the combat stuff, you know, because they do like, you know, in Humvees. So we filmed the scene of them come out the Humvee and taking out a building, up to like them on the grinder and like, welcome to Inner 5, the professionals.
Nice. Was it any like major opportunity that you had to pass up because of the Navy?
Almost.
He's like, I took all them bad boys.
No, almost. But the production company waited for me. I was on deployment in Afghanistan, and my buddy Nick, and again, so I have two friends that I came up with like in the industry. Like we started out like shooting $2,000 music videos, you know, in the alley somewhere in San Diego. And we all kind of like work on each other's projects. The Navy kind of kept me here, and Nick and my other boy freaking took off. You know, I just saw Nick's commercial on TV, you know, a couple of weeks ago. But anyway, Nick was kind of like at his mid-career, and I was in Afghanistan. I got an email. He was like, hey, when did you come back from deployment? And I was like, I'll be back at like the end of the month. What's up? And he was like, so this record label, JMD Records, they have this priority artist that they want to shoot a video for. The budget isn't there for me, so I'm going to pass. Sorry, you guys, hold on. So I'm going to pass. Do you want a shot at it? And I was like, dude, I'm a nobody. Like they're not going to pick me. And plus I'm in Afghanistan. Like they're not going to whatever. He was like, do you want to pass or not? And I was like, oh, sure. And so I was like, but like, how soon they trying to shoot it? Like, I can't do anything. It's like, I cannot leave Afghanistan and come back to shoot a music video. They're going to be like, no, I got it. And they waited for me. And
Nice.
I came back from Afghanistan. I had a meeting with the guys from the record label. So JMD was under Sony Music. So when I got my check, it had Sony Music in the quarter. And I was like, oh, stop, I made it. I'm getting out the
right.
Yeah, they waited for me. I came back. I met up with the band. It was like this band. Met up with the guys from the record label, and I pitched my treatment. It's between me and some other guy, and the band ended up liking my treatment. And so, yeah.
Nice. So
do you take a different approach? Oh, sorry. Do you take a different approach when it comes to music videos and movies?
Yeah. So I started out in the music video realm. For me, if I hear a song, I instantly, if I could see a vision with it, then I'm like, oh, I can see this, I can see this, I can see this. You know, it's kind of the same approach, because it depends on what the artist want. If they want a performance music video where it's just them performing, you know, you got to be creative and come up with like interesting, cool setups. If it's a narrative, format that they want, then for me, I like that more, because I can tell a story. How can I tell a story in 3 minutes? You know, so yeah.
I never knew of that being like a pipeline or a way that people get in the industry until I heard about who was Hype Williams' project. Was it Benny Boom? Well, Benny Boom was doing that, and you have Hype, but you never hear about them making movies anymore. Or Hype, you know, Hype, everybody knows about Belly, but I don't know if he did anything, you know, as far as making film. But Hype Williams, yeah.
Hype Williams is more so, I follow through Instagram. He's more so in the commercial realm. So he does like commercials now. Yeah, because I'm hearing that's where the money is for the industry.
Yeah, wasn't Spike Jonze a music video director?
Spike Jonze.
Spike Jonze did Where the Wild Things Are. Spike Jonze directed Where the Wild Things Are, and the movie with Scarlett Johansson and
Yeah.
When she was became like aware of the
No, she was AI.
With Joaquin Phoenix?
Joaquin Phoenix, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Spike Jonze started off as a music video director, but I could be wrong. But I think he might have. And I think that I think some people that start off as, I watched a movie called Across the Universe. It was about the Beatles. It's a musical about the Beatles. Really good movie, but it was filmed by a music video director, and that shit, the way it looked was amazing. Just like Belly, like, what's up?
Even with Tron. Remember the movie Tron?
Which one?
Yep. The
OG.
The very first Tron that came out like 2019 or something like that.
Yeah.
No. You talking about the one
that's
in the 80s?
No. I'm talking about the
remake. So the sequel.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
It was directed by Francis Lawrence. And Francis Lawrence started out in a music video realm. Yeah. And you can tell in the movie just by the setups and how it looks that he came from a music video background.
Yeah.
Everything color, everything is like the shot, the angles, like it's insane.
Did y'all see the Neutron? Just speaking of, anybody see the
I could have watched it on my flight the other day. I was like, man, I heard such bad reviews. Yeah. It's in my head. So now I'm like parking at home and just throw it on. Because, what's the actor? Jared Leto?
Jared Leto.
He's a music
he's
artist.
like on a streak of like 4 bombs in a row.
Yeah. The only thing I like was the sister coming in with the recognizer, and her music was freaking. I was like,
the soundtrack. The soundtrack. Yeah. The way they did that was that 9 Inch Nails, right? The way they did that was dope. But I fell asleep. And I rented it, or I did it like I do, right? I rented it, and not for the cheap rental, the $24 rental, because it just dropped.
Humble flex.
Rented it,
right.
Fell asleep. Ain't nothing humble about that flex, baby. I rent it, I fall asleep, and just did not ever go back to it.
Yeah, I saw in the movie.
Because you get like 48 hours.
Yeah, I saw it in the movie theater, and it was the music that just kind of, I think, captivated people. But they tried too hard to match to the first one without the same director. So it was like, sorry.
I thought it would have been cool. But it wasn't.
Can I ask? I'm sorry, Don.
No, you good.
Well, I mean, I know everybody's got their style. I've looked at a couple of your films, being your friend supporting you, but is there a certain director that you like? That's your main influence, or you like if they drop something, you're there. Like Damo, if it's Christopher Nolan, he's on it.
Yeah, boom. Scorsese.
Oh, Scorsese, excuse me, right?
Nolan too, but Scorsese.
Nolan, but Scorsese's for you, all right? So for you, who is that director or that team production company? The minute they have a project, you're like, hey, Frank Rice Jr. is there.
Yeah. A24. Their brand, their aesthetic is kind of what I want to go, like I want to do. Where you have a world, but something in that world is slightly off, my favorite is Christopher Nolan. I like Guillermo del Toro. I like him because I watched his little series he had on Hulu called the Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yep. Yeah.
And it was all these short films that were my aesthetic, like weird,
Now I get I've seen that. I get your aesthetic now. Yeah, it was weird as hell.
Like I literally want people to look to me to move there and be like, was Frank High when he did that?
When I was watching what was it? The
Tunnel?
Was it the Quietus of Man?
Yeah.
That lady was bugged out, man.
What do you mean?
That Asian lady?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had me shook, man. I ain't like her, man.
Oh, we say bugged out, like bugged out in a good way?
No, crazy. Like I would have punched her in the face. She was weird, man.
Well, that was her character.
I'm one of them people be actually talking to the movie. Like, yo, man, this motherfucker crazy, man. Can't take
you don't like them.
Can't take her, man.
I literally told her and him, I said, he's 100%. I want you at 30, right? So it's almost going to irritate him more because you're so chill. And she was like, got it.
It came across. If y'all see the movie, she had a cigarette. Just kind of fulfilling some stereotypes of how calm she was, a little small old lady with the cigarette. I'm like, man, and then when I ain't gonna spoil it.
Yeah.
You go watch it on YouTube, the channel was there, right? But you see her, you're like, yeah, she had that coming.
But the thing, because she already knew what he didn't know. So that's what made her so calm, right? If you watch it back, it's like, oh, so she already knew.
Yeah, she was the worst, man.
Yeah.
So you hooked me in. I was like, man, she needs to get her ass knocked out, man.
So you went to school while you were in?
Yeah.
Okay.
I took film classes in Hawaii. I took some film classes. I was at Camp Pendleton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what was your rank when you started like classes and all that?
I think I was a third class in Hawaii. I took one film class in Hawaii. I was a third class. And I got to Camp Pendleton. I had just made to ACV5. I had just made second. And so, I was E5. CS2.
Yeah. And then that's CS, like we know, CSs do work. So you juggling a demanding naval career while, going to film school. And was it online or were you going in person?
No, in Camp Pendleton, it was at Palomar Community College. I had to drive there. It was like 20 minutes away. And classes started from 5 to 9. And I remember, leaving work. Like I knew, and if we had a movie to watch, like we watched Citizen Kane, like the old like Alfred Hitchcock version.
Orson Welles. Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah, and I'm like sitting there watching it. The room was dark. I'm like, I'm definitely going to fall asleep.
Did you? You couldn't, right? You couldn't fall asleep.
Well, I did, but like I dozed off, but like it was so good, because we have to do like a character analyst afterwards. What was the motivation? What was the goal? What were the beats? What were the story beats that pivoted? What was the character arc? So we have to, dissect all of that. And so you have to pay attention, Yeah.
Did y'all see that, Aaron and Tish, Citizen Kane?
No.
Y'all heard of it?
I've heard of it.
Yes.
It's considered at some point it was considered the best movie ever made.
I've heard that. Like I followed some of those lists. I was telling you before we started recording, I got this list of movies to watch. I got TBR, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have those lists like 100 movies you got to watch before you die.
Yeah.
They got the new joint this year. It's like Denzel has done 52 movies. So now you can have a Denzel movie a week. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that this year. Wrong.
You missed already?
Yeah.
I didn't, right now it should be week 2, week 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't miss. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. That's my challenge. I'm going to do it Denzel. See if he actually acts or when did it happen where he started being Denzel in every movie? What was the film?
You one of those people?
No, but I want to see if it actually is that.
You one of those
What you
people?
mean? See,
he's not
be fighting.
Denzel in every movie. He's not. No, he's not Denzel in every movie.
So he wasn't Denzel in Gladiator 2?
No, he was whoever.
Come on, man.
He was whoever he was playing.
Straight from Mount Vernon in Rome. Hey, yo, man, your mother's a whore. You're like, it's just like,
he's still acting because he a little different in real life, man. He like all into like the gospel stuff and all that. Like,
so when he played,
until like a photographer or something try to check.
Frank, what was the movie he was in? He played, it was black and white, man. It was on Apple.
Othello. He played Othello.
Othello.
He was Othello.
So, all right. So you mean he wasn't Denzel in Othello?
He was Othello. He was Othello. He was like, so I love Denzel to the point, whatever role you say, I would say he was the role.
He was
like,
that.
In training, you can say Training Day. I'm going to say he was Training Day.
He was
like,
Training Day.
He was Training
Day. Othello. He's in there like this, and I feel and I know. That's how he was, man.
Denzel's a beast, though. Nobody gonna do no scene. You saw Fences? Nobody gonna do no scene with him, and he's not gonna command that scene, yo. Like Denzel's a beast, man.
I'm gonna push back on that though. Contrarian Aaron, because Viola. They talked about Viola was able to make snot come out her nose on command. That's a level of acting you could cry. She made snot come out her nose, man.
Yeah, she a beast too. I can't.
Yeah, she was a beast.
Like tough.
Like even the opportunity to work with one of them, I'm claiming it in Jesus' name. Like, I would let them go. I'd be like, hey, like I'm just here to set up the camera action. Hey, the camera's gonna go here. We're gonna go there. I just need you to look at this camera here and go there. But you got it.
So do you let your actors, when you film, do you give them free reign to improv as they go, or you like, hey, this is your free thought within these little left and right limits?
I give them their left and right lateral limits. But I'm pretty collaborative, right? This last film I did back in October, I had a bunch of Zooms with the cast, and we went over like story beats and character development, stuff like that. And the main guy, I told him, I was like, I want you, like, I don't want to give you a scenario to put in your head. I said, unfortunately, I need you to unlock that box. And he was like, oh, shoots. I said, yeah, unlock that box and find something. Just go there for a second while we, are rolling. And bring out whatever it is that you feel. So I usually like them to do their own kind of digging. And then I'll tell them if that works. I'm like, you know what? That was good. But can you do it one more time?
So,
go ahead.
So what's your dream cast?
Ooh. So it was crazy is that I have 2 feature film ideas. One, and they both revolve around like the Navy. I know it's crazy.
I like that. I actually like that.
It's a big part of your life.
But I had a producer tell me, he was like, write what you know. One of them is more of my Guillermo del Toro kind of outworldly approach. And the other one is about boot camp. And I literally thought about this. If I did the other one, the kind of weird one, who would play like the therapist, that talks to this, retired senior chief. That was like, I can see Denzel playing.
Denzel good playing Navy folks, man. So,
I can see Denzel like this commander. He works for the VA. He talking to this retired senior chief that's going through some stuff. I would love to work with Regina King. All it's so many, man. It's so many. But as far as women, I would Viola, Regina King, Regina Hall. Like those are my top 3 because I feel like they will be one fun to be around, and then 2.
Oh, you said Viola. Who's the other 2?
Regina Hall and Regina King.
Yeah, I love both of them. In my mind, like I used to date them. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so here's a thought, right? So I'm gonna use like Scorsese as an example, right? So Scorsese does Alice Don't Live Here No More. He does Mean Streets. He does Taxi Driver. He do all like his movies, and then he does a pivot film like King of Comedy, right? Like something totally different, which is not because he's still filming a crazy person or whatever.
Right.
But what would be like, I know you say you got like this A24 vibe and style. What, like if you had to do a pivot film that's totally out of left field from what you did, like what would you dabble into?
Like a romantic, I won't say a romantic comedy because I don't think comedy is my strength.
Really?
I would do like a Notebook or something like that type of movie.
Okay.
Because I can still grip that emotion, but also make it look beautiful, right? Like I can build this world. Again, I'm all about world building. I can build this world, and these people who are in love. Like the Notebook. What else? Brokeback Mountain was a good love story.
Great movie. Like amazing movie.
I just had another one in my head. I just lost the thought. Oh, Brown Sugar. Remember Brown Sugar?
Tay Diggs.
That's slept on. It's slept on. It's funny though. That's a rom-com though, man.
It's a rom-com, but like I love that because again, we're in their world. We're in Brokeback Mountain's world. We're in, the Notebook's world, and like it's just about 2 people falling in love and
so
make it look.
Can I ask you this, man? Because you said you're not gonna do a rom-com, but me knowing you were like one of the most unintentionally funny people I'm around, man. And I don't know, a Chicago thing, it was just you. We was in RDCC school. Another thing about you, you consume calories and don't get fat, man. You be like, what we eating on? What we eating on? What we eating on?
Sure.
You be snacking, bro. You just, let me ask you this. All right. So rom-coms, comedies, right? Boomerang. In my opinion, that is Eddie Murphy's best movie ever. In my opinion, that movie is like top 5 all time as far as cast, the New Jack Swing, sound, everything.
Yeah.
Right? When you said that that's not rom-com, maybe not be your main thing, I could see you doing something like that in that type of vibe of a Boomerang type of setting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I mean, I've been told that.
Damo made a face, by the way.
I was telling one of my producer buddies back in where was I at? I was stationed in Japan, but I came back to California, and I was telling him some stories about like boot camp. Like we were on tequila. He was like, "Wait, you were a drill instructor?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude." He was like, "I want to get into like that Navy world, right? Because I don't know anything that part about you. All I know is like I knew Frank was in the Navy, but I know like I know he was a filmmaker." And I was telling him about some stories from boot camp, and I tell you, he was like on the floor, cracking up, laughing. Like, it was like, dude, you need to write that and make that like a TV show because that was funny, And I'm like, nah, comedy ain't my thing, bro. He was like, bro, you got it. Like, you could definitely do comedy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's just humor in everyday, right? Like the show Atlanta. The show Atlanta, right? And I think that would fit your aesthetic. Like your aesthetic, that show that Childish Gambino did. Or now, what's the name got a show out kind of just like Atlanta, the other rapper dude from LA. I forgot his name right now. Damn.
I never saw it, ATL.
Really?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I never saw it.
Yeah. It's another dude now, though. I forgot his name, man. He's nice too. He's a rapper from LA. He got a show out. It's on Netflix. A little comedy. It's like 30 minutes long. But is that like
Vince Staples?
Vince Staples, yeah, the Vince Staples show.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, man. I'm glad you knew it, man. But like, yeah, Vince Staples. So it's one of them where it's getting kind of outrageous season 2, but
it's dry wit though.
Yeah,
it's real dry.
Yeah, it's just matter of fact, like just situations that somebody been in, like Curb Your Enthusiasm, or like some of some of those. And I mean, sometimes a lot of those HBO shows are like Insecure, for instance. Like Insecure is not laugh out loud comedy. It's just, hey, this is what we've been through, And some of that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do that in a Navy setting with some boat booze, man. Yeah. See what happens then, right?
It was so funny. I was telling my buddy, I was like, dude, like we should do like a TV show or like a movie about like boot camp and like, but from like a comedy point. And I was like, I would actually want to film it at RTC. I said, of course we'll need the budget behind us, studio behind us, but like I would want to film it at RTC. And he was like, boy, the Navy ain't gonna let you film there. You're gonna have to do what everybody else do. You have to build it. Yeah. Apartments on the sound stage, Yeah. He was like, cause the Navy, if it ain't picture perfect, this is what it is, or we ain't blowing up something, some other country, they're gonna be like, oh, no, it's a no for us.
Nice.
Yeah. So
about comedy, like the behind the scenes of like boot camp, he was like, definitely not.
Yeah. Now, did you see that show Boots on Netflix at all?
Oh, I watched the first couple of episodes. Of course, all of my civilian friends hit me up. It was like, Brain, it's like this in boot camp because you're a drill instructor. And I'm like, some sure. But I was like, once we left, I don't know what these kids do. Like, I'm not in the weeds, with recruit drama and conversations, So
Yeah.
So it's like that, live in the open bay, yeah, I'm pretty sure stuff like this is happening in boot camp.
So now you and Aaron, right? Like, what's y'all story?
We classed up RDCC school together in that crazy class we was in.
I don't think Aaron liked me at first.
I can see that.
Cool. But I was like, man, it's a hungry ass dude, man. Cause we get breaks and he's like, yo, what's that? What you know? I was like, man, your rice is hungry, man. Yeah. But then we just talked, and then I got rolled back because I failed the one inspection. My practical
humbled you, huh?
Oh, quick fast, right? Frank was like, oh man, say haters, man, full Chicago, man, fuck them, man. Oh, you good? You gonna rise? All right, stay up. I'm going over here though.
I'll graduate next week, so I'll see.
Yeah, you hold that down.
I'll holler.
Yeah, but just going around RTC, just come up to the time. We just you grow up together in that spot. You navigate it. Yeah, that's what I remember. We kept in contact afterward. Yeah.
I think we had some conversations, but it was very minimal. I think we connected. I think our friendship got stronger when I was in Japan, when I worked for Dean Howe.
Yeah.
We had that common interest or whatever. And so we started talking more and more, after that, so yeah.
Yeah, Frank is a safe space for me. He saves me from posting some things. Like, hey man, you seen this thing? He's like, yeah, man, this is crazy. I
never forget. You called me. I was at the gym and you called me, and I was like, oh shoot, he must want on this mother calling me. And I'm on the stairmaster, like, what's up, big dog? And he like, bro, he told me what's going on. He was like, but I want to say it, but I want to post it. I said, I think were you a Master Chief? No, I think you were a Command Senior Chief.
Yeah, Command Senior Chief. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's the truth, though. It's the truth. He was like, nah, bro.
This dude, I was like, you are Command Senior Chief. You cannot.
If only everyone had that level of discernment, right?
Right. I was like, you don't have the luxury of that anymore. Like, you cannot.
Darren get these thoughts, man, and he just wants the world to know him, yo. The whole world gotta know
That's
this
why, and Frank's important. So, Aaron, keep writing. So, as a writer, I should do that. I'll put it on paper or on the keyboard, and it can live there, or maybe it can eventually go out.
There you go.
But wherever I got it out
Memoirs
safely.
Memoirs from a Command Master Chief. Oh,
right. Oh,
yeah. I want my royalties too. Here on permission to speak freely.
There's one thing I wish you would do. One foray I wish you would do on a separate thing, right? Because you world build it. Y'all know me. I read comics and graphic novels, and
we talk about this.
Yeah, and a lot of it's another form of income. But some of your best novelists, and I found out a lot of screenwriters and directors, they also foray into comics.
Yeah.
Like Ta-Nehisi Coates, him writing as a political commentator, he's written Black Panther.
Yeah.
So I just wonder, like, have you thought about maybe some scripts some projects that maybe you're not going to put to life in motion? Maybe you could pitch that as something, because I imagine you still write your scripts as you.
Yeah. Right.
Maybe take that, translate it into a different foray of work.
I think when I had this idea about like animated like Black futurism kind of idea, and I was like, ooh, I think I want to do an animated version. I think that's when we start talking about the comic books. Maybe, I don't know. I like live action.
I'll tell you this though, the income's good from people that I've seen. They talk about it. They're just putting it out there, and it lives longer. The IP lives longer too.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah, that's like
Damo got a project. Put him on. Damo had a good project. He talked to me about that he's going to do eventually. You talk. Yeah, you did.
It's probably something in my head that
you was with it during the time.
You flew like you sent me the whole pitch. I was like, yo, that's crazy, man.
Oh,
it was kind of like
it
was like a non-linear story that you did. Kind of.
I wrote that for school though. That was a school project, but then they wound up using it for everybody else. It was a storytelling course.
Okay.
And they wound up taking the project and using it for the future students as an example of like what they wanted you to do. My question is like, what attracts you to a project nowadays?
Well, I'm still trying to, I'm trying to get my big toe in it though. So I'm still, considered independent. But what attracts me to, or what would attract me once I get to that level? Honestly, the story. How will it resonate to me, and how can I help the story out? Like, how can I further push the narrative? Scale, budget, can I park off the freeway, in San Diego to shoot this car scene? But money isn't always that, right? I always say I think money is a byproduct of your success, right? So I don't care about money, but I also want to know, for the budget purposes, right? Like how big of a scale can I take on?
Can we fully realize the vision?
Correct. Right. Because if you put me in a box, I'm like, well, you got a car chase scene. I mean, we're going to shoot in the alley somewhere? I don't know. I don't know. We're going to go to a parking lot where it looks like a parking lot and film it.
I mean, even right now, though, even just trying to get your big toe in the door, you retired from a career already.
Yep.
Right. So I would sense that most people that retire from a career, they making intentional moves, right? Like, yo, man, so I don't think every willy-nilly person, could hit you up and be like, yo, look, can you film, this wedding, or can you do, whatever. Yeah, I know you're not gonna do no. I know you ain't gonna do no wedding. So that's what I was meaning. Like, what would even right now, what would get you going and all right, yeah, I'm definitely gonna do this. It's definitely going.
Okay, yeah. So on that, intentional. What's going to move my career forward? Yeah. I would go back into the music video realm. If the person has again, I keep saying, I want to sound like I'm a snob, but you
need the budget to film the project.
I'm at $40,000. Like my last music video, we have $40,000 budget, which is the biggest I've worked with. For me being a nobody. But I want to be at that level. I got to push the needle, So I would do music videos. I would do a commercial, to kind of show my diversity and he can do something really cool with commercials. He can do music videos. Oh, he can tell really good stories, Yeah. If that answers your question.
Yeah. All right, back to Navy real quick. Back to Navy. So CS transitioning from cooking early in the game to kind of doing the paperwork stuff and all that, right? Eventually, though, you go through, you become a chief, you become a leader in the Navy. Yeah. One, I guess, is what leader inspired you to because you're competing, right? You got this thing you do that you love to do, that you want to do, that you see a career in, but then you got the Navy that you sticking with, right?
Yeah.
So you had to get some inspiration and some, things to keep you going. What leader inspired you, and two, what kept you in?
So I got two leaders that kind of planted some seeds. When I was second class with the CBs, I worked for LSCM Lisa Suchu. We used to call her Mama Suchu. And, leaders in the CB world, the CBs really didn't, they were like, oh, y'all just leaders, so y'all can go over there and pound sand. She was like, no, because she was our, DLCPO, if you will. But I learned from her. I felt like my Teflon skin at a second class from her, because she ruled with an iron fist. And sometimes in it, you be like, damn, I can't stand this mother lady, man. You know what I'm saying? But I remember what I made first. I remember like it was yesterday. Something in her switched. And at this point, I had been getting, binked up from her, for two years, but it also made me sharper, right? Because I would send emails out and she'd be like, why did you send this email out? Like, it's misspelled, blah, 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 no punctuations. Like, don't embarrass yourself and don't embarrass me. CS2, I'm like, that's not she. Yeah. But it made me better because I didn't want to deal with that. I was like, let me run this through spell check. Let me make sure the spell check. I'd be nervous as heck sitting that send button like, all right.
But it does it for you. Like,
yeah.
Right.
And then, like I said, something shifted in her when I became first class. And I think she still pressed her thumb on us, on the whole department. She had a thumb on us. But I remember me in particular, she got a little softer. And it allowed me to, I guess, talk to her more, where I feel like she started to kind of, build me into that chief. Like, okay, now he's in first class. Now I got to start building him into a chief. And so she was actually the third person I called when I made chief. She had already retired. Third person I called when I made chief. She was like, "Hello?" I was like, "Lisa." She was like, "Who is this?" I was like, I'm like, Chief Select Rice. And she was like, who? And she had to think and she was like, oh, Rice. And I was like, yes. I want to say thank you for, I got selected for Chief, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you, whatever. So I built that toughness from her. Medea Dudley, she planted something in me, about how to lead with compassion. And I coined it as like the Midas touch, right? And, she never really raised her voice to the Chief's mess. If she told us to go out and pick up trash, the Chief's mess, pick up trash on the base, we would, right? She was that type of leader. And it was plenty of times where I dropped the ball as a first year chief going to a cruiser back to a ship. And she could have took my head smooth off, but she didn't. I remember, I never forget, I was the DLCPO. I'm a first year chief. I get to a cruiser where my detailer was like, I've been DFCing a bunch of chiefs or cruisers. I think she goes to a big deck and burn. I'm like, nah, dude, I'm gonna go ahead and just thug it out. And I was DLC coding like that. I was like, what? I'm trying to learn S2. I don't know nothing about S3, S1. Like, what? Okay, all right, I guess I'll do it. And I'll never forget, it was S3 had a zone walkthrough with the triad because they were going through DITs. And I'm the DLCPO, so I was supposed to fit in there. I'm literally leaving the ship. It's like 1,500, backpack on, about to leave the ship, right? Like, I'm going to the jump. She's still on the quarterdeck. And she was like, she looked at me. She was like, hey, where you supposed to be? And rubbed her head on my back. And she was like, where you supposed to be right now?
You in trouble.
Right. And I was like, she was like, the zone walkthrough with the XO and CO, they had the hang bay waiting on you. I was like, or put on my uniform. She was, she could have chopped my head off, but she didn't. So, and I learned from that, you don't have to cuss me on the quarterdeck and whatever, but, so it caused me to lead like that too. I would go up to my sailors and be like, hey, Shabak, what's up, senior? Now, I know I told y'all to be up there at 1,400. Oh, my bad. Just checking.
Yeah. Got you, man.
Yeah, because I could have been like, why the F y'all not on a freaking, whatever. So I felt I got more respect with that. And also knew, if you got to spaz out every now and then, let them know, don't test the limit.
True.
Sometimes you gotta pop
I ain't
on
the killer, but don't push me.
You got to, man.
Yeah.
What Big Grave say, baby boy? What he
It was
say?
my past life, youngster.
What he say when he was choking about? You want to
Go ahead, bro. Streams on you.
two strikes to go back
I'm
to
trying to do good, mother. And you over here.
Hey, so the second part of the question was, what kept you in?
Oh shoot, sorry.
No, that's cool. No,
what kept me in?
My check, brother. Nah.
the check. And I legitimately was enjoying it.
yeah.
I had a great experience in Japan. Even though I did not want to go, it turned out to be probably the best thing in my life that happened to me. Came back to Boxer. I don't know. I was enjoying it. I enjoyed it. Like, it was nothing that, you you have it every day. Like, oh shit, you got to deal with this tomorrow. Okay. I legitimately enjoyed it. It was fun. It wasn't until my last year on Boxer where I was like, yeah, I'm out. Like, like I'm ready to go. Because I got talked to by the CMC because, I came up top rope on the Sailor because we doing stores on low and you walking around with your cell phone and you running around, hey shit, man, come here. What you doing? Oh, I'm about to go. No. Why don't you put your phone away and join this freaking line? With my chief, where's your chief? Chief, blah, blah, blah. Have him come see me. But until I'll call him, but you get your butt over here in this freaking stores line. And he came to me and was like, hey, bro. Now I'm going to link you up. But this is like all hands, man. What does all hands mean? All hands. Yeah, I was out there and is she a fucking third class and she walking around her freaking phone. So you, chief, I expected you to manage that expectation and put her, and make sure she was there.
Can I just put some out there? Frank, y'all can't see it, but Frank, you about 6'3". How tall are you, Frank?
Oh,
he's 6'4". Okay, 6'4". Y'all can't tell. Frank throw some plates up. I ain't talking about food. Okay, Frank looking like, who's the boxer that knocked out broke his jaw?
Oh, the new guy.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? That boxer? All you only know his name.
I forget his name right now. He gives me in my dreams.
I see him.
I can see him, baby. I can see it.
Anthony Joshua. So
yes.
Frank is built like Anthony Joshua. So I'm trying to imagine you over there chewing somebody out. They looking up at you. Maybe that's intimidating, brother. I'm just saying, man.
Too, like, I feel like these new age sailors look like top back. And I'll be...
you ain't the one.
Because I know...
I'm not the one you think I am, brother. I will take 20 years of the military and beat your ass. You understand me?
Exactly.
That's when it triggered. I was like, yeah, I got some third class or some seaman looking at me up and down like I'm.
Nah, he was looking up because you 6'4", man. Don't.
He was too.
Oh, real? Okay. Y'all squared up. All right.
He squared up with me, and actually, I never forget this. And I went to the CMC and I told him immediately. I was like, hey, if the sailor come, and say this, I said it, but like he looked at me like I was small. So, and that Chicago came out in my mouth. I was like, dang, I'm for a Gila Dioc survey.
Yeah, man. Chicago, Oakland, New Orleans, East St. Louis. Once y'all hear it, y'all turn for the Bronx. Y'all y'all click out, man. Philly cats too. Y'all be clicking out, man. Just click out.
Oh, that's so funny.
He said, bet. Like with an attitude. I was like, no, bet on your mama. Get a thing.
You had to go see CMC, man. You had to.
You gotta get in front of that.
That was the trigger. Like, and that's where that conversation, like, I get it, seeing I know but You can't be coming off the top rope like that.
Listen, I've been there, Frank. I get it. I get it.
I was waiting. I was like, cool. That okay? Yeah. Tell him.
He said
off.
that. He was like that. No, better
fuck.
Your mama.
Bet your mama.
You said it with your chest too, I bet. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. I've had one of those moments before too where I said something and it was just like, oh, I'm gonna have to go tell on myself for this one because I know it's coming. Right. I know, like, okay, this is what I said. I didn't say it, but let me explain to you the situation.
Right. And then I went and found his senior chief. I was like, hey, Wop. He was like, what's up? I said, it's cussed. I want to go say, listen, I might come to you and sit some stuff. He was like, okay. He was like, he was doing something wrong. I said, yeah, but like, I said something about his mama and he was like,
yeah. So I got it kind of naturally leads me to this question. We have people on here every now and then, and people get in the comments, right? And they be like, yo, how come they ain't tell you about the time that they made the entire crew? Like, we had some captain on here before. He was talking, and he's a really good dude and years removed from being a captain. Then somebody got on there and was like, how come he ain't tell you about the time they had the entire crew up for 48 hours with no rest and no boo and no boo? I'm like, damn, okay. And then we had a couple other people on where things like that happen. What would be the worst? This is actually a question I wrote it an hour and a half ago.
That's a great question.
What's the worst thing a seller would say about you in the comments?
cool.
Proper crew. He beat my ass.
I don't know. Again,
nah, you know, bruh. You looked up to the left.
Be like, no, not that
pulling
one.
from that.
I ain't gonna say that one.
Pulling from the memory.
Stays in the vault.
Honestly, I don't know. They will probably say, yeah, I was probably a hard ass, but again, like the hardness came with a little bit of that Midas touch.
Yeah.
I think I did my best. It's all subjective. My mind, I think I did my best, but obviously there are things I could improve on 100%. But what would they probably say? Like, oh, I knew that dude. He cussed me out of boot camp. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Everybody expect that.
No.
Like, he talked about my mama.
Right.
That's the one.
And I'm like, I probably cussed you out because you were doing something stupid, and I probably, came off top.
They do that to Aaron. They do that to Aaron now on, like, in the comments. Aaron could be saying the most. Yeah, he could be saying the most profound thing, like the most profound thing, right? In today's Navy, as a fighting force, we need to boom. And somebody would be like, "Yo, that was my RDC."
Yeah.
That's all you took from the clip. That's your RDC right there. And they still call you by whatever rank they knew you at.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, that's one. Like, damn.
He was like, "Just one." I was like, I was a chief and I'm retired now. They're like, oh, like, yeah.
Yep. That was all I wanted to know.
Okay. Well, I mean, Frank, you, I remember your last ride. You had a lot of conversations about, should you retire? Should you go forward? You had prospects like what Damo said earlier. You two-way path. Your passion is your filmmaking and projects and visions, but you didn't half-ass your career as a senior chief, as a CS, right?
Right.
And I don't know if you remember, you had a small CMC bug in you. It was like an ember.
Yeah.
It was like an ember.
Yeah.
Right. And you just, I remember I was like, you'd be great. You talk about how good. I was like, man, if I could do it, you could do it. Because you're way smarter than me. You got way more patience than me. Right.
I was thinking about that right now.
Yeah. Right. But, what was the moment, or what led to you deciding, hey, you know what? I served proudly and I'm going to go ahead and Senior Chief Rice is going to go ashore for that last time. What were the moments or the conversation that kind of gave you the impetus to make that pivot?
I think I had a conversation with myself. It was like, where do you see yourself in your 40s and your 50s, right? You've done a lot for 22 years. What is the back end of your life going to look like? Are you going to retire and you be 48 and retire, or are you going to do it now and jump off that ledge and try to, go for your dreams? And I had to ask myself, I was like, yeah, I don't want to be in my 50s and 60s looking back saying I shoulda, coulda, woulda. I did 22 years. I did my due diligence. I'm ready to close this chapter and open up the next chapter. Because somebody told me this once before. They was like, the graveyard is the most talented place on the planet. Inventions, so many scripts, so many movie ideas, or whatever are in the ground because those people died with them, and they didn't take the chance or the leap of faith to do it. They stayed with what was comfortable. And I was like, me, I move in a high up tempo, I can make a pivot, let me set myself up with everything. And now all I got is space and opportunity to do what I want to do. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Well, you did that. I remember, you always worry, at least I do, you always worry about your friends, how their transition is going, right?
Yeah.
Teacher could probably speak to this, you navigate so many things. Even if you have your own identity, you still wearing a uniform for so long. But to me, it seemed like you, high up tempo, you pivoted, you transitioned pretty smooth because your company production, what's the name of it? I see the icons of Frank
it's not
FJR.
It's FJR Films.
FJR Films, right? And I remember you retired, then I was like, it was right there. And then your projects were just coming out. The first two came out quick, short order. So it was like, how did you line that up while still doing tap and doing all these things, physicals and all that?
Well, again, balance, right? Doing things. I did those other two films in Japan. Japan, I had a pretty easy kind of schedule there, so I was able to, again, weekends, taking leave, whatever, to do it because I knew I wanted to and I had to. The one I did now, I didn't do it till after I retired. But full transparency, there was a moment towards the end where I did get a little scared, and a part of me was like, oh my God, I've had this purpose for 22 years, I remember talking to my therapist and I was telling about my anxiety and I was just like, I think it stems from, and I got choked up and I was like, I don't know what my purpose is going to be now. And I literally started bawling and she was like, holy crap. And I was like, yeah, because I've been knowing something for 22 years. And now that I'm leaving that, I know I want to do this thing, but is that enough? And so we talked to me about it. So there was a moment where I stumbled on fragile glass.
Yeah. Did you also experience where it was like a lost identity type thing?
Yeah.
I know I did, where it was like, you have this whole Navy identity and that becomes, your story, your life. That's who you are. Yeah. And then you transition and you don't have that. The phone isn't ringing anymore. You they never did think I was important because they are not calling me no more. And you're just kind of trying to figure out, okay, now who am I? Not just what am I going to do next, but who am I? I have to rediscover who I am.
Yeah. I went through, as I'm in therapy now, I went through all of that. And I think on the surface level, yes, I know who I am. When you start to go through those weeds and start to dig in some stuff, I really asked myself, who is Frank and how can I show the world who Frank is? And by doing that, I can show it through my art. That's what I'm kind of still moving into because it hasn't been a year yet. It'd be a year in May. So,
okay.
I'm thinking it's been like 2 years already, man.
Oh, dude, I retired May 31st, 2025 was my last.
That's right. 'Cause I remember I saw the pics of your retirement. I didn't get to go to. Look, you had a time. A time was had.
Yeah, man. My family came in. There's old shipmates. People flew in. Yeah, I had Lisa Sutru, the one I told you about earlier, who kind of built that found that she came and she actually read the retired CPO creep on.
Oh, nice.
And she was like, brother, I am looking forward to having you on the side. I was like, Lisa. Yeah.
Was Kobe there? Kobe Johnson there? Well, I don't know what Kobe's last name is now. She's not married.
She's not married. I can't pronounce it.
Gallinardi? God, forgive us, sis.
Did his piece. I just call me.
She will. She gonna light you up. We're talking about OS Master Chief Jacobia, formerly Johnson. Yeah, she should go one, man.
Yeah, she should go one.
Probably should get her on the pod.
Okay.
You probably should. Because actually, me and her and this other war officer, who's our best friend, we had a good conversation. Taco Tuesday on Tuesday, just talking about like the state of the Navy, the state of the world, like, you know, how do we control our piece of the pie? You know, I always told them, I said, control what you own. You know, you can't fix everybody, and you pray that when your piece is great, everybody else see it and be like, ooh, I want to look like that, you know, and then they adjust suit. So yeah.
What like Navy do you think you were leaving, Frank?
I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get y'all in trouble either, right?
Just, I mean,
if anybody got trouble, it'd probably be me, man. But you know,
no.
You blame Aaron for everything.
Maybe I would leave it. Was a lot different than how it looked when I came in. I came in 2002. Yeah, 2002. Where social media wasn't a thing. You know, we had the like little small Nokias. We had to press the number a couple of times to send a text message. You know, so and sailors, we actually hung out and had fun with each other in the barracks. Like, you know, all the good time. Like I literally think about memories now from like the barracks. You know,
yeah.
You know, we didn't have gaming systems where people just go to their rooms and lock themselves they leave work and they game all night. Cause I had a sailor came to work. I was like, shit, mate, you guys asleep? What'd you do last night? I was playing my game all night. Ugh, what? You know, so you didn't have that. Today looking, I feel like it's, the sailors now are detached, right? They're here for the wrong reasons. And I always used to ask my recruits, you know, I was always say this. I was like, who's here for college? Someone raise their hand. Like, who's here to actually serve your country? Someone raise their hand, you know, and I'm like, and the rest of y'all here for what? Just a paycheck? They're like, oh yeah, because it's guaranteed money or whatever. And I was like, y'all in it for the wrong reasons. I was like, so you want free college, but some stuff that you won't put in on? And I said, you know, we're going to ask a lot from you for that free college. And are you willing to do that, you know? So just seeing that and not many chiefs and RDCs not, I guess, filtering that out, you know? And so when they get to the fleet, man, like it's just, I just remember I was on Boxer, like everybody is attached to the phone. Everybody is so dismissive. Everybody wants to do the bare minimum. You know, nobody wants to put in the work. Nobody wants to, everybody want to get there late and leave early. And I felt like I became more of a babysitter than a chief, right? It was like, I don't know. So it was looking a little different for me. And I was like I don't like I said, that female on her phone in the hangar bay. I was like, you're attached to your phone. You're on your phone when you're seeing the entire crew move boxes and you're sitting there on TikTok or Instagram, you know?
Yeah.
And so that for me, to them, that's a priority, not let me go help the team. Let me go do my job. Let me go on this watch. Let me, whatever. But when they do it, it's bare minimal.
Mediocre.
Yeah. And that's you and that's your independent thought.
Yeah.
What I'm what I would add to that independent thought is that, from my independent thought, is it's not limited to a rank right now.
I agree.
Like, I've seen E7 and above. I've seen officers, whatever. E7 and senior. I've seen officers, whatever. Some of the same stuff you're saying, I've seen it.
Yeah.
From everybody, man.
Yeah.
That lazy bug is crazy nowadays, man. You know, having to walk people through simple things is crazy, man. And then telling people, like, you know, one of the things is like you telling people, like, hey, yo, that's your job to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's your job to do.
I'm asking you to give me the baseline of what your job is. You can't even do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that it's the same way on the civilian side.
Yeah.
It's the same way. And it makes me so frustrated. I won't even get too far into it, but it's the same way. And I'm learning how to manage that part of it, like seeing it on the other side,
right?
Because you know how we would handle it on the inside, and you can't handle it that way on the outside. First of all, it ain't even my job to handle it, but when it's not being handled, I feel like if somebody don't do something, then I'm either going to make you do it or I'm going to do it myself.
Right.
And I've been trying to find that peace with, like, okay, it's not your job. Let me just do my job and stay in my lane. But the chief and me just be wanting to just jump out on somebody off the top rope. And I'm like, come on, like, you cannot sit here and let this person, like, just do nothing.
Well, that's the time we in. We in a time where people gonna wait for whoever that person is to do the thing. Like, ain't nobody gonna put their name in the hat to do it. Like, and I'm not speaking about everybody, y'all. I'm talking about the specific people we talk about. But like, they gonna wait. Like, eventually somebody gonna say, that's what I'm even learning as a CMC to, like, I had a CMC that was super direct with, like, this is what we need done. This is when we need it done. And you are gonna do it, you know? Versus throwing the bait into the water and seeing who gonna get it. Because a bunch of people gonna be like, all right, fuck it.
I know, yeah.
Like, hey, somebody need, like, when you text in the group and you like, yo, somebody need the such and such, and it take like 20 minutes for somebody to
come.
Like,
yeah. Everybody waiting.
I think we, that's not arrogant, but we are exceptional people because we lived an exceptional career in doing something that's high out tempo that only select few do.
Right.
And I'm gonna quote something, Frank, you still cool, Mitchell Murphy?
Yeah.
Right? Mitch put something in my charge book, and he said, hey bro, just always remember not to expect your 100% to be someone else's 100%.
100%.
And that is one of those charges that I go to all the time.
Yeah.
And I haven't lowered my expectations, but I've managed them better with people, regardless if they've been civilians or if they've been in the Navy for 2 years or 12 years, 20 years.
Yeah.
I think the median person wants to do the bare minimum or just meet the requirement.
Right.
Everyone's not always going to have that top 10%ers mindset.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been telling myself, and I know when I close my chapter, and I graduate to where you and Tish are, I could tell myself that it's gonna hit me in the face again, regardless. Man, these cats is wow, even though I expect it, right? But for me, that's where I'm leaning more into. I'd rather be pleasantly surprised than disappointed as someone goes above. I go in expecting. It's gonna sound cynical, but I go in expecting someone just meeting the minimum, meeting the requirement. Because in some cases, I don't fault people.
Yeah.
How many times have we seen people, peers, superiors, right? That person should have been a master chief.
Yep.
easily. Or that person should have been a chief. And they've exceeded all the benchmarks and they didn't get the call because of a quota.
Right.
Or because, well, you didn't get that tour. Well, I couldn't. I was raising my child or I was hurt.
Right.
And you know that. You know, so I don't fault some people for just meeting the I hate saying bare minimum. I'll say meet the requirement.
Right.
I don't fault them for that sometimes, but you should have some pride to where you will take the extra step. Ownership means that you own it more and you go forward. So tirade, tangent, but I'm more in the line of I'd rather be pleasantly surprised than steadily, consistently disappointed.
Yeah.
It's definitely what Sid said. You'd really have to, you can't go chief mode with these civilians out here because, some of them,
the union.
Depends. If you know the person and they know you, you can kind of do that. But I had a little quick story. I was working on a project. Do you remember Shanice Raynell from RTC?
Of course. Yeah, she's talented too. Yeah, very talented. Yes.
Her and I worked on this when she was in first class. I was a senior chief bill.
Y'all did a project together. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a thing together. Actually, I think she just made chief. Anyway, we did a project together. And I remember we had this camera crew. And at the end of the day, I always did like a little debrief with her. I'd be like, because it was her first time making like a short film. And I was like, hey, so what are some things you learned today? Wasn't there some do better tomorrow? Blah, blah, blah. And I remember during our conversation, she was like, bro, you got to chill with that senior chief stuff. And I was like,
I can hear her voice right now. Yeah.
I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, when Andrew was holding that camera, man, and he was sweating and he was moving and you kept saying, do it again. And like, he was shaking and stuff. And I was like, Andrew's a grown man and a professional. If he needed to take a break, he could have said, hey, Frank, I need to take a break, But when she said that, it kind of made me have like an out-of-body experience, like, chill with that senior chief stuff. Like, what does that mean?
Right.
I'm in there cracking the whip like, wow, go. No, keep going. Keep shooting.
Straight CS on the line.
Yeah. I mean, the truth is elite ain't easy, right? That's the truth, right? That's my new kind of thing when I talk to my guardsmen. Like, is nobody that's elite that had an easy road. Like, the shit is rocky. Like, it's going to be adversity. It's going to be pain. It's going to be blood. It's going to hurt a lot. Like, not one person, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, that's not the way that it goes.
Yeah.
Right.
So whenever we think about like grace and we think about these things and we getting better as humans and we, whatever we doing, some of that stuff though gets you to that pinnacle, man. Like some of that, like it's people that, and it's sad to say it, but it's people that I was telling my nephew, are like somebody that want to be a streamer, right? It's somebody out right now that's up 24 hours. It ain't healthy. But they ain't sleep. They trying to, when Kai Cenat and them was coming up and they come up and stuff on, even in streaming on YouTube, they up all day. The camera on while they sleep. Like it's somebody out there that's working harder than you. It's somebody out there that's it's a gift for sacrifice, right? It's a payoff for dedication.
Trade-offs, man.
It's tough. So when people, and a lot of times when we think about it, right? Another back reference to April being on a podcast. I'm looking at comments from people, and some people like, yo, well, JJ, who just retired, right? Fleet just retired, JJ. He like, yo, she was hard on us, But look at him. He's a Fleet that just retired that it was conversation about being a McPine. He was like, she was hard on us, but now I know. And a lot of times, most sellers don't write back to or don't continue to follow the career of the leader that was easy on them.
Right.
They write back to and continue to follow the career of that motherfucker that they kind of hated a little bit. But in hindsight, they realized that, yo, this person had my best interests at heart. That's a real thing. Like, and we get away from that so much because people had to like, it's about leadership, it's called leadership, not likership and all that, and all them quotes. But we get away from it so much because people get so caught up on again, like Abel said, like eating alone. When people get so caught up in that, and we talked to Raymond Kemp about him eating alone in the Chiefs mess or whatever, and that's a metaphor for just being isolated because you are the difference maker. Like, and we got it, and this is like my little vent, but it's really for like some of the younger sellers listening or some of the Chiefs or whatever listening. Like, yo, if you're demanding excellence out of your people and you want them to be, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right.
Stop thinking you wrong. Stop letting somebody else come to, when you said like the other chief came and talked to you, the fact of the matter is the person should have been on an all hands working party. That's the fact of the matter.
Right.
That's basic requirement.
Yeah, go to the all hands working party. Now, and like you said, if that chief is coming up to me for telling they seller to go to, we got a problem. Like, what you even talking to me for?
That's why I lumped him up right there too.
Yeah, like you gotta get it too. Like what we talking about? Yeah, but and then it's people scared. And I tell people this too. Like, man, yeah, you might get investigated. But if you know you ain't do nothing wrong, and that's not like me being like kind of careless about investigation. Somebody might investigate you. They might file something against you. If you know you ain't do nothing wrong, you know how many like FOIA requests, like just as a CMC now, right? Just FOIA requests. Right. And I'm with like a skipper or something, like other people like nervous. I'm like, yo, hey, they can take everything. I'm not worried about nothing I said.
Right.
Hey, CMC, you got an IG. I got, let me see this. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we just helped her get her child back, and now we are the most toxic leaders. All right, cool. Hey, so all hands tomorrow with 12. We got some.
Right. Right.
All right.
I think that's one of the biggest, being on the legal side, that was one of the biggest things that I saw with leaders. They're afraid to lead because they're afraid of getting a complaint. And I see the same thing on the civilian side too, probably even worse on the civilian side because they never been through that storm. Like, I don't know, the military kind of prepares you for something that you just don't get on the outside for sure. And I see that. And that's why I'm bringing my expectations down because I'm like, you're not from where I'm from. You okay, I get it. All right. You're a little scared. If you was in the mess, you're a little scared. And so but you see it in the military too, not on a larger scale, but you do see it in the military, where leaders are, especially when they are looking at that star, or they're trying to make command. They don't want that looming over their head. And so, and we would always tell them, if you know you're doing everything right and you're documenting everything, memorandum for the record so that you can capture the moment and stuff, like, don't worry about it. Everything will work out the way it has to work out. And I understand that you don't want to have to go through that and then, having that negative light shine on you and you're scared. And I get it, but it's just like, that's part of being a leader. You got to make those tough decisions. You got to not be like, you get paid extra to do all that shit and go through all the ugly stuff. So just do it. The Navy is not giving you extra money so that you can be liked.
Yeah,
that's not what that's for.
That's a bar right there, too.
Yeah, let me jump in with a quick example, right? And I'm not going to go too hard into it because we kind of can't, right? But Chief season, right? And I don't want to go too, like, I ain't been that long, right? But when I was coming in, we had to get like the Sellers Creed. It was a point, not the Sellers Creed, Anchors Away, right? It was a point where, like, if we didn't get Anchors Away right, like, other things couldn't happen, right? So it was a time where I could say we tried to do Anchors Away. Probably we attempted it 30 times or something, right? They would not stop, and we would not hit this next step until we got Anchors Away right. Like, it wouldn't happen. It was the same thing with PT too, but again, I'm trying to be vague. Right. Now, I've seen us be like, yeah, let them in. I've seen us be like, yeah, it's cool, whatever. And then now, by the time we are at the last week, you still fucking up Anchors Away a little bit, week 5 or whatever. And that's kind of like even though I can't really explain it all, that's kind of like my microscopic view on what happens when you start relaxing standards and you stop demanding excellence because you don't want to upset people.
Right.
I had a sailor tried to love me up when I was on Princeton. Yeah, first year chief. Well, I think at that point I was like second year chief. And we had Damon Williams, who was our CNC at the time. And I had a sailor who got off the ship before we deployed. It was like our Cobra deployment. And he, chief instinct, I was like, yeah, he made up some stuff to get off the ship for deployment, right? Mm-hmm. Boom. So he leaves the ship, right? I'm like, all right, whatever. We're about maybe month 4 into deployment. D coming to Chief's mess. He was like, oh, Frank, what's up, big dog? I'm like, what's up, man? He was like, yo, you remember that sailor we left behind in San Diego? I'll say, yeah. He was like, swear in my office. He sent me an email. And I was like, okay, about what? He was like, pretty much talking about you. And I was like, what? And so I'm like, my heart is counted. I'm like, oh crap. So I was cool with my suppo. So I go check my suppo. I'm like, hey, go talk to CMC. But, we had our little sync or whatever. Like CMC said, the sailor sent the email. So I'm going to see what he's talking about. Apparently he was trying to know the Navy cleared him so he can come back to the ship. And I guess the sailor was like, nah, I'm good. I would have ship. So he sent the CMC an email pretty much talking about, Chief Rice, he's toxic leadership. He pits, all the affairs against each other. He pits, the LSs against the CSs and, all this hoopla stuff. So I looked at D and I was like, yes, I do. I did with the iron fist. I said, I don't pit them. I challenge them to be better, to be best, right? We went through DITS. Yeah, I was talking crap to S1. I was like, dang, S3 got a 90. Like, y'all looking kind of... I said, yes, because I want them to, have that family internal, like,
competition, friendly competition.
Yeah, I took that from RTC, where RTCs used to, talk up crap to each other about scores, right? But it made us better and it made the recruits better because they saw us working hard to make, to bring them up to excellence. And so I was like, yeah. And I say, and honestly, dude, I don't want him. I mean, I don't want him here. Like, cause he's going to, come in with that notion. I don't want to feel like I have to walk on eggshells, because I don't want him to try to file an IG or something against me. I said, I don't want him here. And he was like, well, I think the captain does want him. I said, okay. So he came back and I remember telling Suppo, I was like, because Suppo was like, well, just make sure that, he has everything he needs. I said, no, sir. I said, if we treat him differently than everybody else, then I'm treating him differently. I said, I will hold him to the same exact standards I do everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if he got a problem with it, he can go to CMT again.
Yeah. Now,
while I'm in the gallery and I'm cussing everybody out, he probably get it.
Now, you said one thing in the very beginning of that, right? You said, this is what you said. You said, I felt like he was trying to get out of deployment or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a time where I think chiefs were given the opportunity to use their discernment and be like, nah, this person trying to do this. And it ain't just about chiefs for the listeners. I'm talking about leaders, period, right? But that's another thing now where people don't want to use their discernment about things because they don't have proof. So that's another thing, where it's like, nah, you can't prove it. So it's things where like, yo, I saw this happen, but I can't prove it, so I can't say nothing, It was like recently, it's like, yo, this seller had a bottle. This underage seller had a bottle, but the bottle wasn't open. So he gonna say that he wasn't drinking it. He was just holding it. So we can't do nothing about it. That's kind of like where we kind of are, where I was talking to my skipper about something recently. And I'm like, hey, your job is not to be a judge or a lawyer. Your job is to be a CO. So if it's trends at our command that made you make a certain decision, then that's the reason why you made the decision. You didn't make this decision based on, I can't get into what I was talking about, but you didn't make this decision based off of legal, legitimate proof, So because a seller lawyered up about something and a lawyer well, they ain't have proof. Okay, That's not why a CEO is making every decision. You mapping the culture of your command, the condition of the work center, the sailor. Like, it's a whole bunch of other reasons. No, you didn't have full stop in the case of the courthouse. That's not what NJP is. You know, but we get so caught up, and Tisha probably know more about kind of this angle than any of us, but we get so caught up in that nowadays. Well, we can't prove it. We ain't got, like, so we losing a little bit of that edge too. You know?
Yeah. And I remember once upon a time, it was just like, they barely wanted to prove anything. Like back in the day, like when I first came in, it was just like, yeah, you're guilty.
And look, and we're going to get it out of them at the DRB. We're going to get it out you at DRB.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Like, you ain't gonna tell me he didn't drink when he was drunk. Like when it was
right.
What?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. Sensitivity.
I'm guilty of that too, though. I gotta get that.
Sensitivity to things did kind of take out the common sense of it, to where, you know, when it comes to, you know, NJP and stuff like that, the threshold to get over something has become so much more than what it used to be. In a certain sense. But I mean, it only take more likely than not is the burden of proof. It's more likely than not that you did what I think you did. That's all you need. That is all you need. More likely than not. Like, if the facts support it. Yeah.
They're like, yo, we just gonna grill your ass. When they go grill
until
your ass
something come out.
Till you tell the truth.
Because that's where most of the stuff came out. That's where most of the truth came out. It wasn't the investigation. It was at DRB. That's where everything came out and got you cross that threshold. But now DRB is a lot different. Yeah.
Threw his coffee mug across the desk.
I'm telling you, the room be shaking.
I definitely dodged a few cups. Like, oh,
right. That's actually what made me want to be an LN. That's what made me want to be an LN. I was like, I got to get in that room. I was a junior sailor, but I was like, I got to get a part. I need to know what's going on. But it has changed a lot, and so now it's kind of hard to get that information out. And so it does make it harder to get across that threshold when it's hard to get the info out.
What DRBs y'all at, man? Because
they're softer, gentler, kinder. Now
you got a full, and again, this ain't all encompassing. You got a full mess. You got, it's like 35 of y'all.
I ain't got 35 people who love mess, man.
All right, how many you got? 20 what? 20 how many?
We sitting at 15, man. We good.
It was only 15 people in that meeting that I was at?
Oh, nah. Yeah, we about 18, 20. Yeah. But everybody in the room, well, I'm more or less, I don't always have the full mess in there. Like, I'll have the panel and whoever's able to come in. But sometimes I've kept it I/we because they're pretty tight. So we we have a structure and we still, like, it still goes.
I think it depends on the CMC for sure.
It depends
on set that tempo.
It depends on the mess. It depends on the command.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are professionally belligerent. It's like a good balance. It's like, yeah, we good, we talk. Hey, yo, man. All right, look, man. And then it click.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my approach. That's my approach.
Yeah.
Like, I said there's so many DRBs where like I instantly get an eye roll when they're like, well, what's going on in your personal life? Like, what? I don't care about personal life. He's still from the next. We're trying to get to, like, I don't care what's going on in his personal life. You know, like what's they don't.
Frank, we did the personal. We did personal, right? I'm not gonna say her name. She in my mess, right? And she like Bill Duke Men's Society, where she's lining up all the facts. It's like, okay. So what's going on, baby? Yeah. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, she queuing them up. Right? She's like, yeah, so what happened? And then she'll poke her glasses and she's like, yeah. And she'll poke her glasses. Oh, she's about to go in. She's like, yeah. So your raggedy ass just said. I was like, ooh.
I love those.
It's like, ooh. Ooh, like, are you crying? Yeah. Looking like a Tyler Perry movie or something.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the over, like old, like I get a bunch of messes, DRBs, where it gets like too like in the weeds, and for me,
far from what happened.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Over here from he stole from the next.
Yeah.
Why do I care about where he grew up in Chicago and his like?
Because I had it. Because you've been stealing. Oh, so you stole this and this? Oh, you got a newborn at home and you didn't know about just taking yourself to Navy Marine Corps. Why didn't you say something? All right. Hey, I'm sorry about that. You're still getting pieced up, but now we understand why.
You're still getting pieced up. That's the kind, and because I've asked those background questions too, but I'm not a big fan of it steering this whole other direction of the root of what all it, like, yo, you did the wrong thing. Like, let's talk about this thing that you did.
Yeah. Because they'll steer you down this long story.
Exactly.
They will steer you down there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even surface level.
Yeah.
Hey, this has been too fun, right? This has been super fun. And I hate to bring it to an abrupt close, but before that, I do want to ask you, Frank, what projects are you working on right now?
So I'm just wrapping up my latest short film called Juncture. It's going through the film festival circuit starting February 10th. I'm going to submit it to the American Black Film Festival. This is very prestigious, festival that I tried to get into a couple years ago, but didn't. So I'm going to try with this one. And after that, so I think I mentioned this earlier. I got selected as the possible director for this other project up in LA. So I had to create, a mood board again, like how would I direct a type piece? So if I get it, that'll start pre-production probably in February or March. And other than that, just, this last project has been really binking me up a little bit because I'm so in the weeds about everything. So, and we're doing a premiere. I'm doing like a little private screening premiere here in San Diego.
Oh, let me know when.
Are you in San Diego?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes, let me know when. I'll come support.
February 27th. I just got sponsorship from a retired senior chief. He's with Compass. He created the military division with Compass Realty. And I was looking at those sponsors kind of offset some of the costs for this premiere. Mm-hmm. And I hit him up, and again, retired senior chief, hit him up. He literally paid for the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
It's like a pitch email, like, hey, bro, this is what it is. This is what it's going to be. I'm trying to get this, trying to get that. We're going to have a Q&A. We're going to have an actual mental health psychologist come, talk about it or whatever. Here's what I'm looking at. He was like, bruh, I got the whole thing. And I was like,
that's where I want to be in life. That's where I'm trying to be, where I can sow a seed.
He's going under his company. So, that's
what day did you say that was?
February 27th.
27th.
I can add you to the invite list when
that's my wife.
Send it out.
Please. I love supporting our folks. I miss this. I miss y'all.
Of course. Look, of course. I ain't about to play those games and act all humble. Of course you miss us.
Okay, Issa Rae.
Of course you miss us. Shit. Like, why would you not? If people want to find out more or check out some of your work, where would they go?
So my Instagram is FJ_Rice. I post a lot of stuff there. I haven't been on there a little bit lately. I was kind of giving Instagram a break for the past month, but I go on there and post stuff and then I log back out and delete the app. And so if they want to reach out to me there, they can follow me there. A lot of my stuff is on YouTube. So if you Google, not Google, but I don't remember my YouTube page name, but I can send it to you guys. You can put it in the link or whatever.
Yeah, we will. It's in the link already, honestly, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so that's ways to find me. Facebook, FJ Rice on Facebook. So yeah.
All right. Now I got one last question because it's trending out there. Did you see? Well, it's kind of like a lead up to a question. Did you see Sinners?
I did.
Did you see One Battle After Another?
I did not.
Oh, all right, I can't even ask the question then.
Are you trying to compare I think I heard something about they're trying to compare, how did Tiana Taylor,
No, people.
because wasn't it between Sinners and One Battle After Another that were up for like Best Picture or something?
Well, Sinners won't be because it's a genre film, right? It's a vampire movie, right? Normally vampire movies don't go to like that far down the Best Picture.
Right.
It wasn't until like The Dark Knight Rises that genre films would even, no, The Dark Knight, that genre films were even like kind of talked about when it came to those types of awards. I don't think Sinners and One Battle After Another like should be mentioned in the same conversation. I agree. I think the reason why they are is because I think people, like our culture is a little bit more tapped in now to like everything because of the internet. It kind of closes everything in together. So that's where people have seen Sinners. And to some people, Sinners is like one of the best or one of the best movies that they ever saw. And for me, some of these people are probably limited in the movies they saw. Like they probably never saw Casablanca or Citizen Kane or American Beauty, or like some of the best movies ever. So yes, Michael B. Jordan's performance is a force to be reckoned with if you never saw such and such's performance if you never saw Tom Hanks in Philadelphia, right? Or yes, Michael B. Jordan killed that shit if you never saw Sean Penn in I Am Sam. So
right. Yes.
Or if you never saw Leo and What's Eating Gilbert Grape, like let's be for real. So it's this big argument between Sinners and One Battle After Another. So I wanted to know from you if you thought Sinners was a better movie than One Battle After Another. I like Sinners. I love the movie, but the way it was reviewed when I went to see the movie, it didn't exceed what the reviews told me. Like it was good, but I wanted it to be just a little bit better. But I love Ryan Coogler too. The only movie I ever saw that was like review, like it was the greatest piece of cinema ever, like super coveted review that when I went, my expectations were exceeded even from all the reviews was the Dark Knight, the one with Heath Ledger in it. Like when I went to the movies to see that, I'm like, damn, this shit is incredible. You know what I mean? Like it should have won the award for Best Picture that year, but the Oscars didn't nominate it because again, it was a genre film, which in turn changed the way that the Oscars kind of put. It went from 5 to 10 for Best Picture or whatever like that. But I know Aaron wanted us to like nerd out about movies, but I mean, we just had a really good time. And it is what it is. If you ever do get a chance, please watch One Battle After Another. I'd be interested in what you think about it.
Because I want to see Tiana Taylor's performance.
Tiana Taylor did not do... so here's my thing with Tiana. I love Tiana and I'm happy.
Here you go. They about to come for you. They about to come for you.
Yes.
I love Tiana, but I'm like, they can't. Like I spend money to support Tiana all the time. I love Tiana. I'm probably one of her biggest fans and I'm happy she won a Golden Globe, right?
Yeah.
This is what I think about the role that Tiana played. She played in this movie called 1,000 Miles of Running. Whatever.
Yeah, 1,001, directed by A.K. Rockwell.
Yeah.
Love her.
She did great in that movie. Like Tiana did great in that movie. This wasn't that. This was Tiana being who we know as Tiana. But One Battle After Another opens Tiana up to an audience that don't know Tiana. Right. So what they seeing is something they don't know. And I think because when I watch Tiana is as far as acting, I love Tiana, so it's hard to say this. As far as acting, she's the worst part of that movie. Like that movie. You got Sean Penn in there, Benicio del Toro in there, Regina Hall in there, Leonardo DiCaprio in there, right? And then Chase Infinity, like her first kind of role. Tiana was the least of that list of actors, right? But again, she was exposed to an audience that don't know who the fuck Tiana is, and the role was written perfectly for her to kind of, it was suitable for her. She won. And she wasn't in the movie that long, but we saw, I think it was Alan Alda when for Little Miss Sunshine, and he was in that joint for 23 minutes. So you don't got to be in a movie that long to win Best Supporting.
I think she was in there like 19 minutes, somebody said.
Yeah, she wasn't in there long, but her role was super impactful to her role was you don't get the story without her role. You know, and she did good. But again, and she working with PTA. So you get what that director that's going to bring you into, you know, that's just how it is. You get with PTA, you're going to be Oscar buzz. You know, that's just kind of the way it goes. Hey, before we leave, I want to say this, man. Good luck to you and yours. You know, I can't wait to be having these kind of conversations about your projects. You know, I'm gonna go check out a couple of them when we get off of here. But yeah, I can't wait, man. I'm looking forward to comparing your movie to Ryan Coogler's movie. So keep it up, man. Keep it up, man. You know, and thanks for hanging out with us. I appreciate it.
Of course, thank you. What's that? Yeah, thought he said something.
Well, I'll say, hey, Frank, it's good talking to you in this forum, fam. And my next crash out text message, I'll make sure I call you first before I start crashing out.
I mean, you know, you're on the East Coast now, so
I'll be mindful of the time, brother.
Correct.
He's like, I'm a whole civilian now.
I'll email you the info. I think, were you the one who sent me the link to?
No.
That was Tyra.
Who was that? Send me the link. Who was the admin?
Tyra.
MC one type.
Yeah. I see the emails too, though. I see the emails too.
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw the emails on this one too. So yeah, I'll copy and paste this email and I'll send you the invite.
Okay.
And let me get them links, them YouTube links. And Tish hung out with us too, y'all, for the listeners.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tish, for calling in.
Yeah, popped in.
Smoke detector. And,
Same OG, you know. Technical difficulties. Ain't shit changed.
Damon ain't here to Mississippi us out, so
I
peace
know.
out, y'all. Love y'all.